let's list the number of things that a hamburger are made of. Beef. Let's list the number of things that a hot dog is made of. Anus, ears, lips, tails. Shall I go on? I'm
I
not
don't
trying to eat
care.
all the
It's
scraps,
good.
bro. This
It's
guy
good.
took his
Oh.
little sweeper,
Finn,
his little
Finn,
table sweep, and
you have most definitely had a hot dog and enjoyed a hot dog before. There's
Yeah,
no
yeah,
way.
but
such a
like if I'm
trying
trying
to
to
go-
think about it like that, I'm gonna choose a hamburger, bro.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Box of Four podcast. I hope you all had a wonderful week, and we are extremely grateful for your return to the show. Today's main focus will be on space, and in the middle, we will have a little game of Would You Rather. I'm Logan.
I'm Finn.
I'm Chase.
I'm Kai. And to kick this episode off, I'd like to ask you guys a bit of a little, huge question that everybody about space has. What do you think about extraterrestrial life? Is there any other living life forms besides those that exist on Earth?
I'll start.
Yes, Kai. Oh.
I think okay. I think that so it's sort of I'm sort of conflicted in mind on this subject. I'm a pretty spiritual person. I'm religious, and there's a lot of clashing ideals that come along with that. And so a part of me is often like it makes so much sense. Like we had literally have this infinite universe that like goes on for
Yeah.
more like literally more than we can possibly see. Like literally the light from it other places hasn't got to us yet, which blows my mind. I guess we'll get into that later. But
Mhm.
I keep thinking like there has to be other places where life exists. Like there has to be this and that. But like also our existence is such a outlier. Like there's so much about like our earth and things like that, like the way that we came to be and like how like we are as a conscious self-aware mind space, like that's so improbable. And like while it's very possible that way out in the infinite universe, like the unobservable kind, there's all kinds of life, I don't feel like it's as easy as we think it is, because like it's so improbable that we're here. So that's just my
fair.
2 cents. I don't really have a complete answer to you for that. So
I mean, if you look at it that way, I mean, you're absolutely correct. And there's some paradoxes and explanations that try to explain why we have not come into contact with life. Like the Fermi paradox and the Great Filter, which I can get into later, are both great examples of why we don't see other life out there. But it does blow my mind that the probability has occurred that such we have not seen anything else.
yeah.
I just feel like in this just how big the universe is, it's hard to believe that there isn't, because I mean we've
Yes.
found like little bits of life on other planets, but not like civilizations, right? Like we found like microorganisms or whatever.
Yeah.
But
Little bacteria.
like it's easy to believe that in such a big universe that it's got to be possible. But like you were saying, Finn, it's also really improbable. Like all the like everything has to align just perfectly for it to happen.
Yeah, like
Well,
it did here.
there are 40 billion Earth-sized planets in the Goldilocks zone. So it's like, I mean, it's not that.
That's also like that we know of too. And there are plenty
True.
of like of Earth X planets that have like water and have the capability of producing things that like could evolve into life forms. But like
No water.
even then there are like specific situations that are like super improbable and like very unlikely to happen that would cause life to happen. Like
Like what, astronomer man?
I don't, dude, I'm not astronomer. I'm taking astronomy 1 right now. But I'm saying, bro, like, literally, if you go off of the theory of evolution, you have the base of microorganism started when, like, water lapped slowly up against a piece of rock, and eventually, like, a bunch of chemical reactions occurred that created, like,
That was the
like
water.
bioluminescent microorganisms. That's like that was original form of life according to evolution, and it would take super specific situations for that same lapping of water to happen, like that same contact to create the same things, because even like atmospheric and um, like geostrophic uh, differences exist in
Uh,
all kinds of different planets. So it's not even possible that all the reactions would be there.
what if
And
the aliens don't like water?
well, I know that Logan sounds silly right now, but he gets into a good point, right? Our life has developed on like a basically every living organism has carbon and like oxygen in their molecules. And I mean, who's to say that some other life form can't exist with like could exist without those molecules? Like who's
That's
to
right.
say that all life
That's
has to
fair.
exist based on our understanding? Like
True.
who
True.
says that they have to
Hmm.
get energy the way we do or need water the way we do?
Yeah.
I
It's
And
guess
then
just
what kind of just blows my mind is the complete like just the vastness of space and the fact that there could be so much stuff that we can't even like think about, that we can't even imagine exists because we've never seen it before and we might never see it, like
yeah,
how
I
much
mean,
different stuff is out there.
very true.
yeah,
Like
and just the
the
huge size of space makes it like nearly impossible to even begin to visualize how much there is out there.
yeah,
Hmm.
like can I learned this in astronomy class last week that like the universe as we know it right now has an end because we can't observe past it. Like it's entirely possible that it's infinite and it goes on. We just literally can't see the light that has gone. Like there's a point in space that the light just hasn't gotten here, and it's taken for like 14 billion years for the light that's on the edge of space to come to us. So it's like we look to like the edge of our observable universe and know that there's entirely possibly infinite reality out there, but the light from there, like the observableness from there, just hasn't arrived yet, which is
What
blows
if
my mind.
there is nothing there? And
What
it's
if
Well,
there
just we're in
is?
a
see,
little
Yeah,
bubble.
the issue is, Logan, with that statement is that our universe is currently and basically always has been expanding faster than the speed of light.
Yeah,
It still is
which is
to this day.
so weird to think about, like
No,
just
wait, no,
constantly
no. I
expanding.
don't think it goes quicker than light.
it's
It
slightly
it
slow.
certainly
It's slightly slower than the speed of light, but
Either
only
way,
by
it's
a
still
little bit.
growing at a
Yeah,
rapid rate.
it
it's
it
insane.
Lightweight.
and well yes and but the thing is that it still is expanding, and
Yeah,
that suggests that there is something that it is expanding into. And something crazy to think about, little thought experiment, is that if it is infinite, which there's no proof that it is finite, so we can only assume that it's infinite, is that it doesn't need anything to expand into. If it's infinite, it can literally just expand into itself
forever.
Which
unendingly
is
forever.
weird because like it's expanding, but if it's not expanding into anything, like why is it even expanding in the first place? You know
The
what I
Big
mean?
Bang Chase. Haven't you read
So
the
actually,
liberal book?
I would like to talk
Oh.
about that. There are many hypotheses about why the universe is expanding, but one of them is things called, I believe they're called virtual particles, that pop into existence for such a small, unfathomably small amount of time that expand the universe. Like they come into space, they come into existence, and then just immediately disappear. And when they pop into existence, they push everything out a little bit, and then they disappear, so we can't detect them. And then another
Oh wait.
theory
Oh.
that accounts for like a lot of our the mass or the size of our universe is dark matter, which I don't know a whole lot about, but it definitely has a lot of applications in, I guess, our world right now as we speak, that I just am extremely interested in what is to come under the search
Um,
for dark
I
matter
think we
and dark
should.
energy.
Yeah, I think that I'll send it off to Logan after this because he hasn't talked at all. But another thing I just learned about in astronomy was that we know incredibly little about dark matter and dark energy.
Yeah.
Like, and Dr. Polsgrove was saying that once once we can figure out the origins of like dark matter and dark energy, we'll be able to do all kinds of things that we couldn't think of before, not just in like energy production and like stuff for ourselves, but just in like an understanding of our universe and even like space exploration, because if we can figure out how that works and like how things like supernovas and this like these random abnormalities in time space, like if we can figure out how that works, then we're going to be able to do all kinds of stuff we hadn't thought of before and like innovate in a bunch of different ways, which I think is really cool.
We could have a warp core from Star Trek.
Yeah, that's actually true. Scientists have
Yeah, I
developed.
know. I have one.
Oh, good point.
Logan's ready to explore the cosmos.
Yeah, my dad
Right.
owns NASA.
I don't even think NASA has gotten that far.
You think
for
Elon
this-
Musk has gotten farther than that? Yeah, he's a.
I don't
Okay.
know.
Go NASA.
What are you going on about?
Okay, Logan, what do you think about extraterrestrial life?
Well, obviously it's there. I
Okay.
mean,
Okay.
there's too many planets in just the right area to have not any life at all, and they're there. Okay.
Do you think there's like an extraterrestrial Logan out there?
No, I'm
Oh.
the
You're the only
only.
one.
Oh, okay. This is a topic for later in the podcast, or maybe even a whole other
Multiverse.
episode. But the multiverse would be really cool to talk about.
Multiverse, yeah.
Yeah, we can get
Well,
into that
that's
after,
not real. So
after the break.
no, there are aliens. They're either less advanced or more advanced than us. Only option.
Okay.
How do we know
Or
which one?
Well, it just depends. If
Okay.
we are the most advanced, then it's going to be a while before we find other aliens. But if we are not as advanced,
Dude,
then
Speaking
they're
of-
probably hiding from us, bro.
yeah, bro. What I'm saying, bro. I read this article recently, like a few months ago, that it was like the likelihood of us coming into contact with alien created AI is more likely than actually coming into contact with alien life forms,
Yeah.
because it's more likely that an alien species would have developed AI or other forms of like self-consciousness that would come out here, because it's easier for AI to travel through space than humans or,
Sure.
or organic life forms. So it's more likely that we'll run into like weird robot AI things than actual like your traditional green slime alien.
There is also a good chance, like, or traditional green slime alien is. I feel like that's just a depiction that we used stereotypically here, but
Mhm.
extraterrestrial life could
It's
be
racist.
any. It's racist, but like
Yeah,
Logan was
bro.
saying, they definitely. I mean, it could be hiding from us. You know what I mean? Like that. That sounds like a little like conspiracy, but like if there is something out there, they don't necessarily want to meet us. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah,
And-
they
Mhm.
they don't know our intentions. We don't know
Right.
their intentions.
So that
Yeah.
could be, stopping us from finding life outside of Earth.
It's like a hunter in a forest.
Actually,
Hunter
yeah,
in the
I've seen
forest.
that analogy before.
Yeah,
That's
I saw
fair.
the
Where-
video.
It's
He's not wrong.
He's
Like,
not.
when you're a hunter in a forest, you don't want to necessarily know if there's other hunters out there.
you also don't
mean,
want to let the prey see you.
Exactly.
Unless
You
you're
don't want to let
lonely.
other people see.
Unless.
Yeah. And actually, speaking of this, I read a really interesting book by the author of Ready Player One,
Ooh.
where
No.
basically I guess spoiler alert, but basically what happens is this alien civilization wants to test Earth before allowing them into like this alien coalition where they trade technologies and like stuff, I guess, to better
I
understand
don't want them.
each other. And so they send out like this like fake alien attack on Earth to see how they would react.
Mm.
And then based on how Earth reacts, this alien like coalition can determine if Earth is ready to join the pact and like unlock all of these technologies. And I find that, really interesting. I mean, for all we know right now, we could be in a test by aliens
True.
and they're just trying to see how the fact that,
Yeah.
other humans can't get along. Who's to say that we're going to be any better with other like species of life forms that are equal or higher intelligence than us?
Very true.
Because I mean,
What if they kill all of us then?
well, they could.
With their
For
little
one.
attack,
possibility.
That is a
bro?
possibility. But if
Oh.
they're just like we were just talking about the size of the universe and like the limitless possibilities of things that we don't even know exist, there could be life that has different technologies way more advanced than we have that are able to, like you said, do like test us or whatever that we don't even know is even occurring. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's bonkers, bro. I mean, I'm sort of like
Oh, bonker.
the whole test hypothesis thing about like Christianity and stuff. That's something I consider a lot. But to think about it as like from an alien perspective, that's bonkers. I actually never thought of that before. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Now, something that I do want to talk about, unrelated to, I guess, extraterrestrial life, is so as we discussed before, the universe is expanding, and it's slightly slower than faster than light, as Finn said. But what this means is that if 2 points are moving away from each other, so this section of space and this section of space are moving slightly faster than the speed of light this way, that means this middle point, from their perspective, it looks like they're moving faster than the speed of light because of
Yeah.
how they're both expanding outwards.
Oh.
And that applies for Earth. At our current position, we have a sphere around us in which anything beyond that sphere is traveling, at least relative to us, faster than the speed of light. And this sphere is called the Hubble Sphere. And we are
Like
actually
the
able to,
telescope.
Yeah,
yeah,
like
that's
the
actually how it
telescope.
was discovered, was the Hubble telescope. And surprisingly and counterintuitively, we are able to see light, like universes or galaxies, not universes, outside of the Hubble sphere, despite the fact that they are moving faster than the speed of light. And you might, wonder, how does this happen? So,
How does that happen?
yes,
How
so
does that
I'll
happen?
explain.
How
So
does it happen?
the space-time in which this galaxy exists in is moving away from Earth, which means any light that is emitted from it will start traveling towards us, but the light is being moved away via space-time faster than it can get to us. That doesn't sound promising, right? But what is promising is that our Hubble sphere is also expanding with the universe, which means that as long as the Hubble sphere expands faster than this light expands away from us, it can enter the Hubble sphere and then be observed by us, which means that there is light that we are seeing from matter which is moving faster, like it's moving away from us faster than the speed of light, which I just think is crazy. We're observing something that we will never ever reach in our lifetime, and yet we can see it.
It's also
Bro.
kind of crazy that like anything that far away that we are able to see, we're seeing like a past image of it because of how far away it is and how long it takes for the speed of light to travel.
Yeah. Like
I
there's
mean,
one of the stars in like I think like the closest star to us, or I don't know if it was a star, it was something in space, is like it's 8 light years away. So the light that we're seeing is actually light that happened like that was being emitted in 2014,
Yeah,
which is crazy.
that's absurd.
That's yeah, and then there's things that are even crazier than that, like light from 14 billion years ago. Like that's
Yeah.
I mean,
crazy.
Hmm.
that offers another point. Alien civilizations might be observing Earth, but it's just so far away that the light they're getting is just not from an era that we even
Exactly
exist.
right. Like
That's
they
Because
might
true.
be looking at Earth right now, and it's like its original volcanic form, but there's no life on it because they can't see it
Or
yet.
there's just dinosaurs or something.
Or
yeah,
dinosaurs, yeah.
I mean,
Or looking at planets that have life on them already, but the light we get is too old.
yeah, that's
That's actually
definitely a
fair.
possibility.
If it's,
That's
I mean, if
true.
civilizations are that far away and we view them, but it's that far away that we're seeing such a far past image of it, and then we like plan to visit that place or something, that civilization could have already collapsed in that time.
Yeah, it could have
No.
lived and thrived just like humans have, and then
Hmm.
like gone extinct, which is
That could
bonkers.
explain why no, like we've never, found extraterrestrial life.
Oh yeah.
It's just too
Yeah,
far
they
away.
just might not line up with like there might be another life form that comes in like 100 billion years or whatever, and then there's some that happened like 5 billion years before us or something, and it just doesn't line up
Hmm.
with ours yet.
Well, I
Everything's
think
just too far away.
I
L.
think is probably time to shift gears to Would You Rather
Hurrah.
for a little bit.
I
Oh,
can do
shifting
that.
gears.
Yeah, and then we'll get
You got
back to
those?
space.
I have some interesting would you rather questions. So how do we want to
Okay.
do this? You want to go like around in a circle, or all voice our own opinion on the a question?
Just
And
voice
I
it
want
like
to
a
go in a
Give
podcast, I
us
think.
circle,
just
bro.
give us some questions. Throw some questions out
all
there.
right.
We'll give some answers.
So first question I got for you is: would you rather be unable to experience sadness or be unable to experience anger?
Oh, You can't. Okay.
Sadness
Okay.
or
Oh,
anger?
unable to experience
Sadness
sadness.
sucks, and so does anger because like if you get mad at mad or something, you can act so much more irrationally and have so much more
Yeah.
regret than you would if you were sad. And I think sadness is
Sadness is
healthy to
helpful.
feel. So
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
very
No,
helpful.
anger is more helpful.
No,
I think
Well,
I'd
anger
rather
Logan,
not
anger usually
experience
stems
sadness.
from like irrationality.
Anger is a secondary emotion, everyone.
yeah.
Max.
So I personally would rather I would be yeah, I'd rather be unable to experience anger because I feel like sadness is essential to
out.
living.
I think the
Living the
three of
human
us,
life.
excluding Logan, is pretty unanimous on
Yeah.
this one.
Because
Uh,
just to think about it, without sadness, you can't really experience true happiness. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think like
True.
it's the same thing as
Very
like
true.
you can't have black without white, you can't have darkness without whiteness, and
Mhm.
like you can't have like this and that polar opposites without having the other thing. So if you take away sadness, there's like no happiness, and you could argue that anger is the opposite of happiness, but
Yeah.
I think that personally I think that sadness is more of the polar. So
So now, just to give you an idea, 1.6 million people voted on this Would You Rather, and we are actually in the minority right now.
Really?
47% said they would rather be unable to experience anger, while 53% said they'd rather be unable to experience sadness.
I mean,
Which
that's
I just
fair
find
because
interesting.
sadness, anger, we experience all the time. Sadness can be kind of a hard emotion to work through, especially if it was like some sort of traumatic event or something. So
mhm.
Yeah.
it makes
Logan,
sense that
why-
they choose
why would
that,
you
but
vote? Yeah. Why would you
yeah,
vote?
but if you can't experience it, then you don't have to work through it.
yeah, but
That's
it's
true,
more, it's healthier
but-
than anger is. Anger is just like irrational, like an irrational response.
You
it's
can
like-
be angry at some, like if someone like shoots you in the leg, like you
I can also
be
be sad that
justifiably
my leg
angry.
hurts.
Oh, who's gonna be sad that they stubbed their toe?
I'm gonna be quite
Ah.
sad that I stubbed my
Yeah,
toe because it's
that
gonna
sucks,
hurt.
bro.
Sad. My
Dude,
whole
I-
morning is ruined.
I think.
Or you could be like, "Ah, I stubbed my toe," and then you're good in
and
like
then
a
work
minute.
with it. Well, I mean, I also just think that this question is not as polar or as good as it thinks it is because I think sadness and anger are sort of hand in hand and they can't be
Mhm.
separated as much. Like anger
It's
is a manifestation of sadness and sadness is often a result of anger. So
What was it? Fear, pain, or sadness? That's what
Yeah.
anger stems from. So, really,
yes,
if you're eliminating sadness, you're also eliminating anger, or part of it, a third of it, to be exact.
Let's
Double
move on.
whammy.
Let's
I think we
move
can move
on.
on. So this one goes, would you rather sound like anyone you want whenever you want, or speak
Ooh.
any language you want whenever you want?
Oh,
Language,
That's the
bro.
easiest
I
question
think that's
I've
an
ever
easy
heard.
one.
Yeah, the
Party trick,
language,
another
bro.
one is like a useful skill. Would you rather learn a useless party trick or speak every
Yeah.
language in the entire world?
I think that's pretty easy
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, that first
No.
question appeals to like eight-year-olds who like want to sneak out and want to act like they're their mom on the phone or something, bro.
that would be kind of
Yeah.
cool though. That
Yeah,
would be
I mean-
cool, but not as
I
cool
mean-
as languages. You could
Yeah,
travel
like,
anywhere,
bro,
dude.
you could walk into like the middle of freaking like rural Gabon, Africa, and be like, and like
Speaking the
speak
native
their language,
language.
bro. You know what I'm
You'd be
saying?
like,
I don't think you'd be silent if you knew their language. You'd be like,
No, you'd be like, hey yo, but like in Swahili or whatever, bro. That's crazy.
Okay.
okay.
So-
what was the
I-
percentages on that?
Yeah.
It was like terrible. It was oopsie. It was 71% said they wanted to speak any language.
Okay,
Which
Hey,
is
Jake,
that
that,
makes
that,
sense.
Not
makes
stupid,
sense.
That does make
That's-
sense.
Mhm.
So-
Onwards, the rest are liberals.
Ignore Logan about
So
language.
the next one goes: if you were trapped on an island, would you rather be stranded alone or be stranded with someone that you hate?
Hey, because then you could kill him
Hey.
and eat him.
Okay, that's
I'm
certainly
not
I
an
didn't
hating
say that.
idea.
someone.
I
didn't
was
say
gonna-
that.
Okay.
I was just gonna say you could have some company. You could have some cooperation.
We got.
Like,
we
all right,
got
look,
two of
if
those
you are in a
here.
life-threatening situation where you are put on an island and you will probably die in like 2 weeks, you're gonna work together, even if you despise each other. You know what I mean?
The
What if
truth-
they're like
Sure.
mustache
here's the-
man? What are you gonna do then,
Wait.
bro? I'm not working with that guy. Come on. I'd rather be
Wait,
alone.
what are you getting at, Logan?
What are you talking about?
What are you
I don't
talking
know.
about?
Can we say it? I don't want to be on an island with Hitler, dude.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
That's
But,
going
like-
on the TikTok, bro. That's going on the TikTok.
If it was like my like 5th grade rival, then I don't really care. But I don't want to be on the island with the big
Can we just
baddie.
can we
okay?
just assume that it's like people that are alive currently?
Like
Yeah,
people you
like-
know personally. People you know
like-
personally.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the truth is
Fine.
here, I almost want to say I'd want to be alone, just because of the fact that I
Alone
feel
is
like
nice,
nothing
though.
would get done. If I truly hated this person, I would want, like, of course, I'd want someone to be giving inputs, like, do this, do that, or we are going to die.
True.
And I have a feeling that both of us would want to take that leadership position, and then there'd be conflicting ideas, and nobody would want to do anything.
True, but like I said, if it comes down to this situation where it is life or death, like I feel like that is going to force you guys together. Like this isn't a normal school Monday. You know what I mean? Like,
What if they take
It's-
your island stuff? That would be mean.
what are they gonna do with it? Run off?
Yeah,
What
they
if they-
can't go anywhere,
What
bro.
if they're the ones who are gonna kill you and eat you, like Finn said?
It could happen.
Yeah, bro, it's possible.
It's-
But,
it's
like,
a
I would-
risk.
I
I'm
would
not being
still
on an
like-
island with someone else.
I would still like to have someone with me
I
because like
agree.
it's possible to get stuff done. And worst case, like if it's your last resort, you could kill them and eat them. You know
You
what I'm saying? You
could.
can't do that if you're by yourself.
You could.
What if
eat
they
your-
beat you?
They won't.
Why would
bro,
they
I
do
thought I'm
that?
brown belt in karate, bro. You
I'm a
kidding?
purple belt in Kempo karate, so
Where we
Yeah,
are really going
kid,
places,
whoop
aren't
you.
we? Kai, what's the
Okay.
answers?
Okay, 66% said they'd rather be stranded with someone that they hate.
Good man.
Which
That's
I-
good.
Okay, I
get what they're
get that.
Okay, they're wrong. Cool.
Okay. This one's getting real interesting. Okay, just stay with me here for a second. Would you rather?
Oh,
Would you rather chug 2 cups of trash juice or chug 1 gallon of milk 6 months past the expiration date? Now,
What is trash juice?
it's like okay, so
the
I
stuff
don't
you
know
get
if
when it drips
McDonald's,
off the
there's,
bottom of your
stuff
bag.
At the bottom of the
Oh.
so I don't. So now, obviously, trash juice is gonna like vary in terribleness depending what's in the trash. Like if the expired milk is already in your trash, it's gonna be expired milk.
What if the
Mixed
trash
with
is
chicken
other
juice,
what if
yeah.
the what if the
Puts
tr-
milk in the trash?
what if the trash
okay, wait,
is
how much
empty?
expired trash juice do I have to drink?
You have to drink 2 cups of trash juice.
That's not
Trash
bad.
Oh,
juice,
trash juice. Easy.
or what?
Easy.
2 cups. So I mean, I assume they just mean the measurement cup, which isn't that much. Or 1 gallon
No.
of
Dude,
expired
I couldn't
milk.
get
I
through
think-
like 3 sips of spoiled milk. I don't think most people could get through like a
no,
couple
it's
sips of
like
milk.
it gives you
The thing
gag
is-
reflex.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, as it goes, I think the 2 tastes are going to be pretty much comparable in being awful.
Yes.
2 cups is far less than 1 gallon. I think the.
I think
Yeah,
you're
best
less, to
option
be
is-
honest. Yeah, the trash juice.
Trash.
And I mean,
juice.
who's to say there won't be something better in the trash juice? Like maybe you'll get some
True.
orange
Maybe
juice
they
in
just
there or
maybe they
something.
just
Yeah,
threw
yeah, yeah.
maybe they just threw away the cake from Timmy's
Okay,
birthday.
any orange
Yeah,
juice dripping out the bottom of my
Yeah, you
trash
can-
bag is not
you
gonna be
can-
something I want to drink.
You can.
Yeah, okay.
forget
It's gonna be
about
better
the-
than spoiled milk 6 months after.
Yeah, that's pretty
I
bad,
think
bro.
at
That could
point,
kill
that's
you.
almost cheese,
That
dude.
could
That's
kill
almost
you.
cheese.
Yeah, that could kill you, bro.
Few more
Well,
weeks.
trash juice could probably kill you too if it had like
Well, it
salmonella in it. But
depends.
like,
It's very case
Like, yeah.
specific.
Well, that's
so
fair. What if it was
63
raw meat juice?
I mean, that's
Six-
the risk
okay,
you have to take.
63 what?
Tell me the stats,
63
Kai.
63 would rather drink trash juice, and I think it's
Yeah.
basically
Easy.
because it's less volume of liquid you have to drink.
Yeah, 100%.
I think.
Plus
I
it
think
can vary
that's-
depending on what's in the trash. Let's do another
Ooh.
one. Probably last one.
Yeah, let's find a good one. Oh, okay. This will bring us back around. So,
Okay.
this will bring us around to taste. Would you rather cure cancer or make first contact with an alien race?
Ooh. Cure cancer.
brother.
Cure cancer. What?
Yeah.
Why did that
what
take
is
so
the
long for
answer
me to
there?
like,
Yeah,
that
you
go
guys-
through my head, bro? Cure cancer.
The thing
easy
with the
work.
meeting an alien, making first contact with an alien species or civilization, there's no guarantee that's gonna go well. Like, yay, I did it. I found aliens, but also they are on their way to kill us in 2 weeks. So
Yeah, you have the chance they're gonna kill you because they're more advanced than you, or they're equally as advanced as you, and they may give you like medicine to cure your diseases through some miracle, or they're less advanced than you and don't have like any
most
useful
likely
things.
they are experiencing different diseases than us.
Yeah,
And
they
also
don't even have the
likely
same
you're going to
insurance.
have bad correspondence issues and possibly start a galactic war.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean,
it's more likely that you could do more
Star
good
Wars.
with no. It's more likely that you could do more good with the cure for cancer than you
Yeah.
could
Oh,
by just
yeah,
talking.
100%.
absolutely, dude.
Absolutely.
So
I think that
yeah,
was a pretty-
71% said that they would
we could
rather
do
cure
another one.
cancer.
That was a pretty quick one.
You want to do another?
Yeah, so
Okay, 71% said they wanted to cure cancer, which
that makes sense.
about makes sense. All right,
Oh.
final one.
At time.
This
Okay.
is real serious. That's
Hey, I'm
We
ready.
still have 20
I'm
minutes,
ready.
pal. We still have like
Oh.
15 minutes.
This one's real serious. Eat a hot
Oh.
dog, eat a hamburger.
Hot dog.
Hamburger.
Hot dog. There's less in a hot dog.
Oh, Kai, you
I'm,
were.
not- I'm
What's-
gonna
I'm
eat
vegan.
hamburger here.
I
I
don't
want to eat
want
a
meat.
hamburger. Hamburgers
Yeah,
have a
that's so
wider
easy.
variety.
Actually,
they
no.
have a
I
wider-
think. I think
Hot
I would
dog,
choose
dude.
hamburger.
Hot dog.
Burger?
Because hot-
dog?
Okay,
No, they
no,
make
no, no.
it- they-
Hold on. Let's get
Hot
something
dog
straight
is
here.
better.
Let's get something
Let's
straight
get
here.
the facts down.
Hot dogs are good. They're both good. We know that they're both good.
Hot dogs are better, but yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
I
No,
think I would
no.
rather. I think I would rather eat a hamburger though. Like you
I
can
work at
put
McDonald's. Hot
whatever.
dogs are better.
There's more stuff that you can put on a hamburger than you can put on
Logan
a hot
has
dog.
PTSD of burgers from McDonald's.
Okay, look, think about a hot dog. It's nice, lower calorie than a hamburger, and you don't have to eat any of the bun or any condiments or anything like that.
So you're gonna
Okay,
eat
if
a
you're
raw hot
eating-
dog?
If you're eating a
Hamburgers
hot dog
only
or a
good if you
hamburger,
put
you're not
extra
going to care
things
about
on it.
calories. You're not going to
Yeah.
care about calories
It
if you're
offers
eating
a
a hot
valid
dog or a
point.
hamburger.
This doesn't say anything about calories. It just says hot dog or hamburger.
Hot dogs are better. It's nice,
dog-
quick, easy.
hot dogs are also-
and you can even go for seconds. Hamburger, you would never
this
be
is
able
just
to
an
go for
argument
seconds
between
because two
Finn and
hamburgers
Logan
is just,
right now.
just too
Oh.
many.
It's great.
Okay, let's list the number of things that a hamburger are made of. Beef. Let's list the number of things that a hot dog is made of. Anus, ears, lips, tails. Shall I go on? I'm
I
not
don't
trying to eat
care.
all the scraps,
good.
bro. This
It's
guy
good.
took his
Finn,
little sweeper,
Finn,
his
you've-
little
Finn,
table
you've-
sweep, and
You have most definitely had a hot dog and enjoyed a hot dog before.
Yeah.
There's
Oh,
no
yeah,
way.
but
Such a
like
lot
if
of
I'm trying
trying to
to
go-
think about it like that, I'm gonna choose a hamburger, bro.
The animal that you had to brutally murder.
Why is this
Oh,
so?
how many animals have gone into that hot dog? Like 16 pigs, a chicken, and a rabbit, probably. I'm not trying. I'm not trying to eat that many things.
I know, but they're pieces parts. You're just using the extras, okay? If we're going by your logic, which isn't even necessarily true.
What? It's not true that they make it out of stomach lining and then fill it with all the yucky parts.
Yeah, and you
That's
made
true.
sausage with me, and it was good.
It was good. I'll be honest, but that was mostly potatoes. So.
Yeah, because we're vegan.
What is happening right now?
I think we gotta go back to space, bro.
Okay, all right. Let me kick it off. Let me kick it off.
All right,
I got
Finn-
this one.
Finn is a starter for us.
I have heard of this thing, and I don't know
Okay,
how true
right.
it is. It says it's a scientific theory,
That's
Okay,
wrong.
but it's kind of scary, bro. It's called the Great Attractor. Now,
You're
Oh,
what
you
I
said
know
that.
about this is that measurably all the galaxies in the Laniakea supercluster are zooming towards this unknown point in space
Oh yeah.
that at like hundreds of thousands of kilometers per second, and they're all going to the same spot. And it says it's a gravitational anomaly in intergalactic space, and at the apparent center of the gravitational point of the Laniakea superstructure, and all like the anomalies around it are all rushing towards it. There's some that aren't, but like, what do you think is there,
Okay,
bro? Like,
but
why are we
how
all
can-
going
Whoa,
there?
whoa, Finn. So is there like proof of mass there? Is there like a physical mass object there, or do we not know? Is that the
No,
thing?
there's nothing like in that point in space. There's like all the angles are projected to be going to one spot, but no one knows what's there because you can't see it yet. But it's but everything is going towards that same space at that same spot
It's
in
certainly
space
interesting.
at like in inconceivable speeds. I don't know how true it is. Like it's still just a theory and stuff, but it looks crazy, bro.
Gravity's a
Hmm.
theory, friend.
Yeah, I know, but
So
But
like
also that's kind of weird because like just this, if we are taking space to be this infinite like endless thing, which is I mean that's what we can assume at the moment, but if it is that, then why would there just be like one random spot in space that has this more attraction than everything else? You
I'm
know?
saying,
Probably
bro.
massive black hole, or big
And
planet, or dark matter.
well, it isn't like it's not like a perfect science. Like it's not like everything is going at the exact same speed toward the
Yeah.
spot, but it's like many things, including our own like galaxy and cluster, are all moving towards this thing at the same speed. But like there's other clusters that aren't moving as fast, and then there are some clusters and things that just like aren't moving at all, or even moving in the other direction. So it's just like a lot of things are going towards the spot, and no one knows why, and it's kind of scary, and I don't
oh,
want to get sucked into black hole dimension
Well,
sucky
you'll be
sucky. So
long dead,
it
then.
is
yeah, but
so unfortunate
scary.
that it's so unfortunate that our own Milky Way galaxy is blocking us from seeing this thing.
Yeah, bro,
Like
it's no,
I'm looking at it,
it's
and it's
true.
our own galaxy that is blocking us from seeing the white light waves that are coming
Mhm.
from this
It's because we're on
thing.
like this disc, bro, and we're like so picture that like the middle of my hand is the center, and we're like way out here, and the tractor is like way over here, but we can't see because there's so many things in our own galaxy blocking our path of sight to the thing, which
Light
is
pollution.
no, it's mostly just the stars and things in the way.
Like
I just
pollution. No way.
that's so
Light
interesting.
pollution.
I
This
mean,
is really interesting though.
the fact that this thing is like larger, like many times larger than our own galaxy is just like insane to think about.
Oh, it's that big.
Mhm.
And I
Already.
mean, I guess I have a question, Finn. I don't know if you're gonna know this off the top of your head, but do you know where this is in like relative existence to, I guess what we
Uh,
call it like the
I
Senate? Because obviously, like everything radiated out, at least if we're using the Big Bang theory, radiated out from the Big Bang. Do we know where it like relates to that at all?
relative to I don't know that, and I don't
Okay.
think anyone knows. Well, I mean, we know exactly where like approximately where Big Bang happened because like of just the way that we are able to observe stars and things. But
Hmm.
it says all that I know is that it appears around the center gravitational point of the Laniakea supercluster. So I'm gonna look up where
Hmm.
is.
Because if that's like really far away from the Big Bang, it seems really improbable that something that large would form so far away from the what you could call the center of our galaxy or our universe even.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
probably closer. I don't.
I
it
would imagine
That's
it
says.
would
my
be.
guess.
Oh, here we go. I
10
found a
cents.
picture. Okay, it's showing. It's showing that. Okay, is this is the scout? Where's the? Okay, Milky Way is right
Dear
here.
Lord.
He's really
Okay,
going into
okay.
that.
It says okay. It says that one theory is that it's the confluence of dark energy. So it's like
Yeah.
where things
Watch it.
like originate and come back
No,
to.
I didn't.
So
Hmm.
it's possible that that's the point where Big Bang actually happened, but for like from what I'm seeing, no one knows for sure where it is relative, and
What if we're being
it,
Big Banged again?
that's another thing I would like to talk about if time allots. But
I think time a
No, it
lot.
does not. Goodbye. Thank you,
um,
everyone.
We have about we got about 10 minutes.
well, I'd like to touch on this briefly because I feel like other people need to talk too. But like, what if I saw this video, I don't remember what it was from, but what if we're like in this like infinite like cyclical pattern of the universe where like everything big bangs and then gets sucked back in, maybe like the Great Attractor, and then
Sure.
big
Hmm.
bangs again and it resets everything. Like that's
Hmm.
something that's entirely possible because there's no way of knowing when our universe will end, or well, what we know when Big Bang happened, but we don't know what happened before that to
Hmm.
cause it to happen. So
True.
it's possible that it just keeps going like every few 100 billion years or 100 trillion
Yeah.
years or whenever.
Mm,
I think
Like
yeah.
it's
we
That definitely.
entirely possible because, I mean, something had to, the Big Bang had to come from somewhere. So it makes
exactly.
sense for like the universe to actually just be infinite and then The Big Bang is cyclical.
Cyclical. Yeah. Okay. See, that's something I thought we should touch on.
We could
So,
we could touch on the Great Filter for our last part.
Yeah.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
that's
Okay.
cool. I love that. That's cool.
So, for those of you that don't know, the Great Filter is at least what scientists say it is it's unsome-foreseen event that every single intelligent race must go through. And basically, the theory goes is that we do not know if humans have already gone through the Great Filter or if they have yet to reach the Great Filter. So, basically, what this explains is that this event that happens to all intelligent races is extremely unlikely. Like, it is extremely unlikely for anyone to pass this. You could call it a test, really. And that's why we don't see any uh, other intelligent life. Either all of these other intelligent lives have not gotten, like they have not been able to make it through the Great Filter, or our society has yet to reach the Great Filter. And in both scenarios, it's not looking very optimistic for finding other life, because if we've already passed it, that means that there's some event that happened prior to our existence right now that was extremely tough and challenging to get through that no other civilization has gotten through. And if it is something beyond our time, later in the future, that's not good, because that's kind of a giant sense of impending doom that is going to be extremely difficult to overcome. And the unfortunate thing is we don't know which it is. We don't know if we're behind it or in front of it.
I guess my only question is like, why? Like, what's the point of it? What is it testing? You know,
I mean, it just could be something nature, like,
just
for example,
natural.
yeah, it
Finn is
could be
really
something
excited.
natural. Like, I mean,
Yes.
just for the existence of life at all, that could be the initial filter. The fact that, like,
True.
microbacterial
That could
life
be.
exists.
Yeah,
Or
that
it
could
could be
be the great
something,
filter.
or it could be something like that we're experiencing right now, where we're running out of natural resources on our own planet, and that will
Yeah.
send us back. Or it could be something completely uncontrollable, like an asteroid striking Earth, and
Yes.
we can't do anything about it.
What
Like,
what
don't look
I
up.
yeah, don't look.
Oh, and then the woman president didn't launch the nukes correctly.
What?
Capitalism
Yeah.
intervened.
Chase, you haven't watched it. It's a
Yeah,
movie
I've
that
seen
he's
the movie.
referencing,
Oh,
and
okay. I
it's
was
just so
so
bad.
confused.
It's really good,
I
and you
was
should
like,
Yes,
watch it.
hold
it's a
up.
good watch.
Okay.
So
Okay, but
you can continue, Finn.
like so like from a serious standpoint, like you said, there was a bunch of things that could have come up in the past or are coming up that could be the great filter. Like it could have been the existence of microbacterial life. It could be like the losing of our resources on our own planet. But I think that if it's neither of those things, it's more probable that it has something to do with space travel. Because hear
True.
me out, like we know that the sun in some billion years will become a red giant and swallow the inner three planets. So there's no way that the Earth itself is going to survive that. There's no possible way. So for now we have that deadline. Like humanity
Yeah.
will not live past that point unless we're able to find a way to move off world. So
That
like
could be
it
it.
could that could be it. Like whether we're able to achieve that or not might be the end of us, but it also could be something more impending right now, like an environmental crisis or things like that. We don't know, but I think if it's neither of
Yes.
those things that we've already mentioned, that it's got to be space travel.
I
Yeah,
agree.
that makes sense. Uh, one last thing I'd actually like to touch on that's very interesting. It's not like any of this theoretical stuff, but basically in space there's particles, just tons and tons of particles raining down on every single thing in the universe all the time. Photons, electrons, just always bombarding us, radiation. And the interesting thing here is most of it either gets blocked out. It hits another molecule, it hits another atom, it gets trapped up in our atmosphere. But occasionally, just occasionally, one of these particles will go through a computer and it can actually change how your computer functions. Like it can travel through one of your like through like for example a hard drive and change a 1 to a 0. And when this happens, it doesn't seem like it would have a huge effect, but and we wouldn't think that it would happen that much, but it actually happens multiple times. And prior to it, like knowing that it happened, it would just seem so strange. For example, I believe it was a Dutch election was occurring, and there was a vote counter that had a lower level candidate with much more votes than anticipated. So they called out a scientific computer team to come look at this computer and figure out what was wrong. And what they realized is that 1 0 was turned into a 1, such that the number that was like the number that it got changed to was an integer that aligned with a certain value being changed. And the only conclusion that they came to was that a particle from space literally struck the computer and disrupted the votes.
Huh.
No way.
Wow,
That's
bro.
kinda
They're like
crazy.
Russians.
What?
And another example of that was somebody was doing a Super Mario. I don't remember what game it was. I think he was
No
doing a Super
way.
Mario speedrun, and he was just doing it normally. When all of a sudden he was able to like clip through a wall, and like was able to thus complete the speedrun faster. And after numerous attempts by the community to like recreate this, they couldn't. And they believe
Huh.
that the reason that happened was the same thing. A particle from space collided with the console and caused it to allow the character to phase through the wall, which I
Wow,
just find
Super
dude.
strange.
so interesting. Is like,
Okay.
maybe your computer's broken because you did something to it, or maybe just some random particle from space decided to mess with you and struck your computer
You do a
at
little
the wrong
trolling.
time.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
I
That's
just
cool.
that's so interesting that
Yeah,
even
that's actually
happens.
crazy, bro. I didn't even know anything about that, dude.
Yeah,
This is really neat.
That's
just a little thing
that's
to
crazy.
leave us off.
Well,
Yeah.
I think that about does it.
Yeah.
Bedtime.
Logan's gonna
Yeah,
sleep.
Logan, this is
Logan
way
is
past
tired.
Logan's bedtime, by the way. We were
bro.
at Kai's watching the Pats game, and Logan was enjoying himself, and then as soon as we got on this call, when he got back home, he's about passed out.
Yeah, it
So
takes because I was okay. You know what? The Pats lost Super Bowl. By the way.
yeah, they lost
Oh,
the Super
okay.
Bowl.
Playoff
Okay.
game.
I think we should also leave it off with a quick plug for our
Oh.
next podcast.
True.
Likely, we don't have it all perfectly confirmed yet, like to the letter, but very likely we will be having a special guest next podcast, and it is none other than UC Denver's own Dr. Michael Kim with a PhD in philosophy.
Yeah.
We will be talking. Should I drop the
No.
topic or
Yeah.
no? Should I
Yeah.
wait on that?
Yeah.
Okay, we're dropping it. We're going to be talking about otherworldly philosophy and simulation theory.
Yes.
Um,
It'll be very, very
So
interesting.
yes, we're going to
Yay.
drop that not tomorrow, we're filming this on Saturday. Not this Sunday that this one will be dropping, but the following Sunday.
The next
So-
Next week
podcast. The
is
next
Yeah.
episode.
So
Term.
stay tuned for that. It is currently 11:43 p.m. for us, and we have some Valorant to play. So
Going to bed.
Logan does not have Valorant to play.
Look at his bed.
But so yeah, thank you all for watching our second ever podcast, and for those of you that are on YouTube, thanks for looking at our lovely faces. And for those of you that are on only Spotify or Anchor, thank you for listening to our lovely voices. Goodbye, everybody. It's been real. Peace.